Roll yourself forward into a high plank. Come down all the way to your stomach. Lift your hands and your feet off the floor. Push yourself back up, high plank. Lower yourself all the way down. Lift your hands and your feet and push yourself back up, high plank. I don't know why I always do the hardest shit. Hands and your feet up and push it up. All right, let's go down all the way. For real this time, find oscillating cobra. Hands off of your mat. Dig into your feet, coil your spine up. We're just gonna hold this one. Really aim the tailbone towards the heels as you broaden into the chest. Holding, breathing. Pull the head away from the tailbone to create more length. And then exhale, lower just a little bit. Reach the arms back, put the shoulders onto your back. Reaching towards your feet, lift your legs off the mat. Big toes touch. Breathing. I don't know if these ever get easy. Lift the legs a little bit higher. Push the pubic bone down into the mat. Try to lift your belly button off the floor. I know, so much to think about. Holding 4, 3, 2, and 1. Forearms on the mat. Triceps are not happy. Put your head down onto your hands. Bending your knees, reaching your hands to your ankles. Floor bow, kicking up and back. Taking your eyes up if you can. Pretend like you love this pose. Perspective is everything. Kick back a little bit harder. 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly release. Plant your hands, tuck your toes, stabilize your core. Press up, high plank. Holding. Downward dog. Exhale. Roll forward, high plank. Come down, low plank. And then your first upward facing dog. And we'll hold. Work the straight arm position. Roll the shoulders onto your back. Find activation in your legs. Breathe. Create more distance between the thighs and the floor as you lift up. Visualize your body coming through the arms. And then downward facing dog. Exhale. Lowering your forearms to the mat for dolphin. Option to bring the palms together. Or if you want to work on range of motion, push your hands down. Holding dolphin, or walking your feet closer to your elbows, as close as you can. High onto your tippy toes, right heel to your glute. See if you can bring your right knee up towards the ceiling. And holding. Maybe one day you'll lift into your arm balance. Coming down onto your knees. Just giving your shoulders a break, finding a little bit of movement. And dropping your forearms once again. Pressing your hips up. This is perfect. Holding here or high into your tippy toes. Walk your feet in just a little bit. Heel, left heel to your glute. And then chase the ceiling with your left knee. Awesome. Staying here or taking your eyes forward if you'd like to hop into your Pinchamayurasana. Go ahead for 5, 4, 3, 2. If you're up, land it with control. Lower your knees And a little bit of movement for your shoulders and your upper back. Press back, downward dog. And take a couple of deep breaths. Line video. Lay down on the back. Take your legs up to the ceiling. Finding activation in the legs always, first and foremost. Holding here. Drawing the lower abdominals down towards the spine. You want to really integrate the breath with this movement. Taking the right hand behind the base of the skull, bending into the right knee to the right elbow. Try your very best to make the connection between the elbow and your thigh. Holding here just for a few seconds. Again, as you connect the breath, lower ribs in, lower belly down. Activation in the feet, which trickles down into the legs. All right, just 5 of these. Lower 5. Left arm extends forward. 3, 2. Keeping the left leg down to a hover. Lower belly lifts. You'll feel the shake here. Reaching the left arm forward or reaching it back. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left elbow to the left thigh. Again, try your best to create that connection. Right leg lifts, finding the shape, finding the breath. Exhale, lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, and holding your right leg down to a hover, reaching the right arm forward or reaching it overhead. Try to go for activation. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both elbows to your thighs. See if you can tip your tailbone away from the mat. And try really here to connect your elbows to your thighs. Maybe you lift your shins up a little higher. Maybe you bring the inner thighs together, holding. Lift the shoulders, lift the hips. Balancing on the mid-back here if you can for 5, 4, 3, 2. Both legs up to the ceiling. Pressing down into the elbows, into the triceps. Scissor the legs here so the right leg is just a few inches below the left. Try to keep the spacing between the legs. Find activation. You're going to tip the pelvis up and lower it. Here for 10, 9. You can do this. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Try your very best to keep the hips away from the floor. Reaching your arms forward. Scissor the legs, fire up through the thighs, lift the hips higher. 5, 4, 3, shaking is good. 2, and release. Just take a quick second. Both legs back up to the ceiling. Scissor the left leg just down a few inches below the right. Press into the triceps or the elbows. Scissor up. On the exhale, lift. Try to keep the spacing between the legs. Initiate the movement with your lower abdominals. 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold it up. Best of your ability, try to keep the hips off the floor, reaching the hands forward, shoulders up, hips up here for 5, 4, shaking, 2, and 1. Quick second. Coming up into a high boat position. So balancing on the sit bones, lift your legs. Straight legs is harder, bent knees is a little bit easier. Let's see if we can chase that straight leg position. Reach forward, holding, shoulders down and back, holding. 8, 7, 6, 5. You can do this. 3, 2. Lower your feet to a hover. Reach forward towards the feet. Low boat here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring your knees to your belly. Great work. Rolling side to side just a few times. Awesome. Attitude. Start with little bridge. Pressing into your feet. Tip your tailbone towards the backs of your calves as you lift your hips up. Awesome. Staying here, interlacing the hands is also an option. digging into your left foot as you bring your right knee towards your chest and extend the right leg up. Trying to pull your left heel back towards your shoulders. 5, 4, activation of your right leg for 3, for 2, bend the right knee, set the foot down, stay in the pose. Remember, I'm doing this work with you, so we're in this together. Isn't that what we keep saying? Press your arms down, lift your left knee, point your toes, chasing the ceiling with your left big toe. Beauty. 5, 4, 3, 2, bend your left knee, put your foot down, lift your hips, holding. Tailbone towards the backs of your calves, so you tip your pelvis. And exhale, slowly roll it down. Without doing anything, just lay down on your back for a few seconds. Coming into another back bend, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Placing your hands, or option is stay with little bridge, yogi's choice. Pressing up into your back bend, creating space into the back and side of your neck. Firing up the legs, pressing into the inner edges of your palms. And exhale, slowly release down. Again, without doing anything, just lay down. Going into one more. Either stick out with little bridge, or again, Urdhva Dhanurasana when you're ready. And what can you take from this pose? Where can you find more space, greater ease? And release. I'll be honest with you guys, nothing about that pose is easeful for me. Oh God, if we're being honest with each other, that is really hard. Bring the soles of your feet to touch, let your knees fall out to the sides. Take your arms out to the sides of the room. Maybe moving your head from side to side until you feel like you've reached a comfortable spot for your neck. And just notice where in your body you're still holding on to tension, contraction. You feel your breath moving freely. Taking your hands to your outer thighs, lifting your knees. Bring the feet about mat width distance apart. And then lower your lower your knees to the right. This is a wonderful pose to stay in. Just make sure I'm still recording. We're good. Or if you want more, take your right heel, place it on top of your left thigh. Again, if there's any type of tenderness in the low back, come back to the first variation. Another option is to guide your left heel closer to your glute. And that will really intensify into the left hip and left quadricep. And just closing your eyes as you begin to settle in to this slower, more grounded pace. And then lifting your knees, moving mindfully, lowering the knees over to the left. I have a recorder on my left hip, so it's a little harder for me. Oh, there we go. Again, taking your variation that suits your body, heel to your thigh, or guiding your right heel in a little bit closer to your glute. Just always protecting the spine. So any sharp or intense sensations is not something you should ignore. And slowly bring your knees back up once again. Windshield wiper the thighs from side to side. Draw the right knee towards your chest. Extending your left leg forward. Switching sides. Really embracing the stillness, the nothingness of this moment. Appreciating the power of taking a time out, or the impact of taking a moment to disconnect through movement and breath. Bring both of your knees to your belly. This simple pose right here offers healing and nourishment. Just holding onto your shins, you can rock side to side. Allow yourself to feel the beauty of this stillness. Allow your mind to be present here in this moment. Basking in the sensation, the residual sensations of your practice, of your movements. And then taking your legs long, coming into Shavasana, and letting yourself soak up as much time in this pose as you need or as you have, and making sure that you do take a moment to lay down, to be quiet, to be still, and to really just soak up your practice. Thank you so much for subscribing to this platform. Thank you for your support and your love. Some of you have given me feedback. Thank you for that. Please keep them coming. Stay on your mat for as long as you need. Namaste.